mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find ritual extirpation of undesirable natives of another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past watch out and pray?
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, GameStop power-up rewards members, and anybody who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. I'm your host, Tasker, and we have, as usual, Nick.
Hey, pal. Hey, buddy. How are you all doing out there? You guys having a good time?
Now, if you're wondering about the accent, Nick has changed his style significantly since last episode. I believe it's you have a 5 o'clock shadow, a trucker mustache, and hair that kind of looks like a mushroom cloud.
I look like I belong in Wisconsin, all right? I look like I belong hanging out in my basement, drinking brew, drinking pop every once in a while, right? And I even have a cheese cellar, all right? I'm doing really well for myself here. The mustache is fitting nicely.
Yeah.
And I think this is my new identity.
Yeah, and we spent all week trying to figure out what you looked like. First, to start off as you look like a defecting the Union, like Civil War soldier.
Yeah, we seceded and we should stay seceded. All right, the South will rise again, buddy.
Now, wouldn't that be a twist that actually you've been a time traveler this whole time, that you were originally Confederate?
I am the reincarnation of John Wilkes Booth.
Jesus Christ. But we also recently decided that you do kind of look more reminiscent of what was it? The guy from Anchorman or a member of Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah, I look groovy as fuck with this mustache hair combo. Like, I might put a picture up on Discord. I look like I buy weed from 13-year-olds.
Weed or cigarettes. It's kind of hard to say.
It's like, hey, man, I lost my license. You're 13, but can you give me some cigarettes?
Or it kind of makes you think of I never really watched it. Do you ever watch My Name is Earl?
I have seen that, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of in that regard. So it's been a colorful experience, and this is the first time we're recording with Nick in these specific digs. Yeah,
I'm wearing flannel. I'm wearing I literally look like Ed Gein right now with the mustache. It's awesome.
just a regular chameleon, just can shapeshift into whatever personality you need, huh? With depending on the clothes.
That's only because I don't have my own personality. I need to have I need to be told what to do.
Yeah, you and probably most of America, honestly.
Yeah, but hey, I'm feeling good. Mustache. It's not very thick right now, but it'll grow. And I'll look like a professor if I cut my hair, or a pedophile. I haven't tried it out yet.
Depends on how many warrants you have for your name.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, you know what? To be fair, most professors are pedophiles. So
probably not most, but
most of them.
No, there's a small population, maybe, but it's like when you see somebody working at Chuck E. Cheese and they're happy to be there, that's somebody you should be concerned about.
Yeah, they're like, hey, yeah, I'm Chucky. They're in like the little costume, and they're like, hey, kid, do you want to take a picture with me? Let's go behind the band and go behind those curtains. We'll take a picture back there. Hey, tell your mom I'm just getting you some pizza, okay?
Pretty sure that's the start of Five Nights at Freddy's, which, by the way, did you see that there's like a Nicolas Cage, like Five Nights at Freddy, like wannabe movie coming out?
I saw something about it on Reddit, and here's the thing that I have. The problem I have with it is I like Nick Cage, all right?
Me too.
I think he's funny. I think he's fine. He did a really good job in The Color Out of Space. If you guys haven't seen that movie, check it out, the adaptation for the H.P. Lovecraft story. But Five Nights at Freddy's is it is a fucking plague on society, okay? And the amount of kids who are now autistic because of it and Minecraft is staggering. And it's not, and I'm not joking. I didn't know everybody's like, oh, Nick's making fun of autists again. No, it's 100% true. I worked with kids. I saw them every day talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, talking about Minecraft. And I don't think it was a coincidence that the kids I worked with had learning disabilities.
I think that's my favorite little fun fact about you as a person, is that there was a very like significant portion of your life where you were working with special education. Like
Yes, I was.
you were on the forefront of it. You were like you were like the guy that like helped him out.
And you know what it is? Probably is I could relate to them.
Well, no, I remember you would come home from work sometimes. You're like, dude, like I feel sick. I'm like, why? It's like because we literally had like an hour conversation about some nerdy thing, and it's like, does that mean I'm one of them?
I was like, I understand what they're talking about, and I understand the memes that they talk about obsessively, and then it got me thinking. I was like, it's like that one GIF, right? It's that one GIF. It's like I'm retarded. The dude opens up the mirror and he's like retarded. It's like me.
It was just so funny because I think in a weird way it's sort of like what's the word? It's sort of like it doesn't excuse the behavior of the things you say about the differently abled, but it is just kind of funny that like there actually is like a level of altruism in the fact that you did like legitimately work and legitimately help special ed children for a couple of years of your life.
And it was a fulfilling job. It was,
Yeah.
and I think I did a good job at it. But like I said, nobody's off limits with jokes. So sorry, guys.
And realistically, I wouldn't be surprised if they found your podcast, and they probably love it.
They better not, dude. I'm gonna get fired, even though I'm already quit. I don't know. I don't know how that works. They're gonna hire me again and then fire me on the spot.
I could see that. Petty enough. But really quick, because while we're talking about like memes and shit, we gotta quickly address it just because it's been big. Game stonks. That shit's been whack lately. With fucking everyone buying off GameStop to fuck over all the short sellers on Wall Street. I think they're down. They've already lost like $9 billion or something.
Oh man, look, if this is news after President Biden gets elected, I don't know what is, man. Because I go onto Reddit to look at three things: memes that aren't about GameStop stonks, titties, and that's pretty much it. So when I go on Reddit and every subreddit somehow snakes in a way to talk about the GameStop situation, I'm just like, guys, what happened to the days where memes lasted like 12 hours? And then we were on to the next thing, guys. We've been talking about this too long. I think it's time that they're going to win again. We cannot stop them.
Right.
I mean, we hit them a little bit. I'm not saying I had nothing to do with it. But I'm going to say the 1% hit them a little bit, but unfortunately, until we take them out where their heart is, they're going to keep coming back stronger.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and that's the big discussion coming up of like they're already making moves to change the system again and that's exactly what they're going to do is they're going to phrase it like, no, okay, you're right, we need to do some reforms and we need to punish it, and they're going to make it sound all nice, but it's the next reform is like you said, it's going to put the 1% right back to where they were before.
So you know what that means, guys? We need to bomb Wall Street.
No.
And I think if you guys or anybody in our cult is willing and able, I need you to strap bombs to your chest. And
no, we're not going to do that. And we're not going to encourage that on a live TV show. I mean, podcast. I am so out of sorts, dude. I fucking watched Midsommar last night. It was fucked up. I didn't sleep well. I'm cranky as shit today, and I can't think straight. And it's even worse as we're talking about the worst possible thing that we could talk about.
Well, it's because it's okay. First off, I was joking, guys. Please, for love of God, don't do that. All right, because it's going to come back and bite me in the ass if somebody actually does it. We might even cut it out, and you have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
You'll have to guess what sort.
So keep that in mind, Tasker.
Yeah, you have to guess what sort of extremist propaganda Nick's peddling on you. I got censored this week.
Yeah, so that's the first point. Second point is, yes, today's episode is something that bugs Tasker tremendously, and I think it's a high time that we talk about it. But before we do, we need to go into our horoscopes and see how things are looking, and then we will dive into this meaty stupid episode. Okay.
Yeah, stupid is an understatement. We'll get into that. I don't want to get things started. You know, we don't want to have like, what is it, before big like wrestling or matches and stuff where they go up on the stage and they like do the weigh in and then they actually start fighting right there. Like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to save the fighting for the ring.
Save it for the ring. Save your energy, Tasker, because it's going to take a lot of energy. from you today.
I'm already like out of energy. So like I said, it's like it's both the worst, but one could argue probably the best way for me to tackle this. It's just I'm already angry. I'm already grumpy. I've been just completely fucked by like psychological horror the past month because it's just like it's what I've been into and it's terrible for me and I'm ready to move on. But what better way to cap it off by talking about the stupidest fucking thing ever?
Okay, all right. Save it, buddy. Save it. How about you do your horoscope first because I went first last time.
Okay. Is there a secret you're obsessed with unveiling, Scorpio? Something strange could be going on in your neighborhood, or it might be an intellectual puzzle. Whatever it is, you're determined to discover the truth. You may do things you wouldn't normally do. Don't be too pushy with questions. Confine your research to books, newspapers, and the web. You can find a few clues without alienating anyone.
Are you obsessed with something lately that you're trying to research?
I mean, I've gotten over a couple obsessions recently, but like, I guess, with my job, like, I guess I've been sort of like hustling, but like, nothing. I'm going to give this an like an eh.
Okay. Like maybe it's a warning for something coming in the next couple days that you find. Maybe you'll be obsessed with something in the next few days.
Probably. And hopefully it's, like I said, I'm hoping it's not psychological horror. I'm tired of the horror. Like I just, there's a limit. There's the fun, scary, and then there's the makes you lay at night with your eyes open. Like, God damn it! I just wish I didn't see this shit.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I love horror. I'm not saying that because I got big balls. Look, I'm afraid of things. There are things that Nick is afraid of, believe it or not. But horror is not one of them. I am a huge horror fan. Love horror, except for, and I was talking to Tasker about this before we recorded. I'm not a folk horror guy, all right? So like Wicker Man and Midsummer and Hereditary to a certain extent, like all those like cult-esque, usually takes place in like an English countryside. I'm not a fan of that bullshit, all right? I don't have time to think about horror. I don't have time to dissect accents. I want to see people... I want to see people be dissected. I want to see people be tortured. And I want to see werewolves and sea creatures. And you know what I mean? So that's what I'm in it for, man. I'm in it for the blood and the beast.
Well, yeah, it's like I really enjoyed the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was dark. It was disturbing. It was creepy. But it didn't keep me up at night because it was just like kind of just straightforward. Whereas with stuff like that, like Midsommar, where like I don't want to be like too spoilery, but like it does these things of like that line of like where sexuality can become either something like good and mystical or something just disturbing and like disgusting, and like I hate that shit. It just makes me just like makes me just feel gross for being a human.
You should feel gross for being a human. You know what? And that reminds me of my current obsession is Jesus Christ. And you need to repent for your sins, homie. You should feel gross about yourself.
Okay, when the fuck did that happen?
I don't know. I'm just saying words at this point.
Yeah, you got one mustache, and now suddenly you fucking back to Christianity. The Midwest has changed you, man. When you're a Bible thumping, beer drinking, mustache, Blue Oyster Cult listening, flannel wearing woodsman.
Nah. It's good old. I'm still good old gambling, Nick. Everybody knows. Look, I'm just interested in our conversation last week about religion. Just got me thinking about religion in general and spirituality. That's all. I've just been doing research on spirituality mainly. No, I'm not talking like organized religion, right? But I'm just looking at like, what's spirituality all about, man, besides my crystals and herbs? You know what I mean? Like, what is something I can mix in to make it unique in my own, like maybe like a Jesus witchcraft type thing. You know what I mean?
Didn't we talk about giant praying mantis aliens last week?
Yeah. Yeah, but we talked about Islam and shit for some reason.
Oh, that's right. I guess we did do it. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay.
And I don't know, man. So whatever. Let me whatever, man. Screw everything I just said. All right. Nobody. I'm still good old cussing, gambling, drinking Nick. So don't you worry about anything. All right, guys.
You can all rest easy. You can all start rebuilding your Nick shrines again.
Yes. Please don't take them down. Please.
And really quick, star ratings today. Sex is a 3 out of 5. Hustle is a 3 out of 5. Vibe is a 3 out of 5. And success is a 3 out of 5. Just medium all across the board. I'm okay with it. I'm exhausted. I feel like last week kicked my ass. And same thing. I'm on that like LA life, the LA dream of commuting over to record these episodes now. So it's every time I come in, I'm fresh off the freeway with Starbucks in hand. And if I wasn't wearing glasses, I'd be wearing sunglasses too.
I like it. That's the LA life, baby. That's the hustle. That's the bustle. That's the podcast life now, man.
Yep, exactly. But how are things in your end?
A business or romantic partner might be in a foul mood and not very likely to tell you why, Cancer. It won't be all that easy to deal with, but it probably doesn't relate to any trouble between you. Therefore, it's best to let your partner work it out alone. Take care to try to stay cool and keep a safe distance between you, at least for today. The mood should pass by tomorrow.
Well, I already told you why I'm grumpy today.
Yeah, so I'm unfortunately because of our business, we are both business and romantic partners, so that makes it complicated. I can't keep my distance from you. We have to do this podcast today, so I have to disregard what my horoscope is saying.
Well, and also one could argue though, we do this podcast remotely, so technically you do have a distance.
But Tasker, he's talking about emotional distance. He's talking about like let them be. And I can't do that to you yet because I have to bug the shit out of you today with my theory.
Yeah, I'm fucking bracing. I'm so like sumo stancing ready for this bullshit.
It's going to be awesome. Okay, let me do my stars and then we're going to get right into this because I cannot wait any longer to talk about the subject today.
Yeah, no, we should jump in.
All right, so really quick, my sex is a 4 out of 5. Nice. My hustle is a 3 out of 5. My vibe is a 4 out of 5. And my success is a 3 out of 5. And honestly, that's how I'm feeling today. So I'd say it's fairly accurate.
Yeah, I was going to say, you seem a lot more, you have a lot more color to your face today.
It's because I'm not as hungover as I was the last couple weeks. I am still hungover. Do not get me wrong, audience, but I'm learning something that's called moderation.
Wow. Look at us grow and change.
So I have a little bit more color in my face today.
Yeah. No, yeah. I tried Midsummer, I think, was one of the movies where it's like I wanted to just get like blackout in front because I'm just tired of watching it, but I didn't want to look like a bitch in front of everyone. But at one point, it was when they started like drugging okay, I don't want to spoil it, but like, okay, quick spoiler, close your ears. It was when they like drugged the drinks and it like made people like, like fucking trip nutsack and then like makes the dude like do the sex thing that was really weird and gross. Like, I don't know. After that, I was like, I kind of don't feel like drinking. I kind of I sobered up real quick.
Because if you drink to that, it might become a fetish.
I don't want that association, man.
Hey, man, we all have our things. All right. So
I don't need anything new awakening in me this week. It's already been whack enough. So let us go forth into this. I would almost say this is a historical subject for the two of us. I think a lot of our podcasting roots stem from this subject.
And it stems from an argument that Tasker and I had at a party once at his house, right? It was a raging party. We always had raging parties there. But for 45 minutes, Tasker and I drunkenly argued about the flat earth and if the earth was flat, okay?
Yeah.
He got very upset, as most people who are wrong do.
Uh-huh.
And so we figured, why not do an episode on it today with a little bit more research and talk about it in a civil and respectful manner towards each other.
There will be an attempt at that, but keep in mind when Nick says we were at a raging party and we argued for 45 minutes. I mean, people were asking where we were until they heard me yelling from another room. They're like, and they thought we were like getting in a fight, and then they walk in and we're just barking at each other about the fucking flat earth. And it was just the biggest eye rolls all across the board. And so they just let us keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it was after all that finally we're just like, dude, we should fucking start a podcast.
Yeah, man. Our differences are apparently party worthy.
Exactly. It was a very inspirational moment for all of us. So, like I said, this is kind of the subject is near, I would say near and dear to our hearts because it is, but that also gives it a positive connotation that I don't appreciate. So I'll say it's a subject of high significance, and we're happy to bring it to you today.
I'm especially happy to bring it to you guys today because this needs to be said. Okay, these things need to be told.
Yeah. let me let you introduce it, and then there's a little something I gotta say before we get going, and then we'll jump into it.
All right. Well, everybody, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Close Encounters, the only show around that has a third host who never talks that you guys don't know about.
Yeah, it's been
surprise.
I'm really shocked nobody figured it out by now.
Yeah, come on, guys, you can't be that stupid. You know what I mean?
Like if you really put it through like a spectrogram, you would see there's a third person here at every episode since episode 1.
Yeah, in fact, they were the ones that created this podcast, and we're just along for the ride. So
yeah, they were supposed to talk on the first episode, and they just never did, and we just rolled with it.
It's a bit.
Yeah, it's been going strong. So good job.
But anyway, today is going to be an episode many of you probably have been waiting for, and the time has come. So we are officially covering the flat Earth theory today. And before we begin, I think it's only fair that we give our official stances on this theory. Tasker is a flat earther, and I personally believe that it is a sphere. So without further delay, I want everyone to break out your binoculars, grab your yacht, go out to sea for research purposes, and then let's dive right in.
Okay, so that's obviously wrong.
What? Which part of that was wrong?
Okay, let me you'll be able to figure out my stance real quick. When I need to introduce something really fast before we begin. This is in short what I think of flat Earth, because I feel like this is something I need to iterate in the beginning because I think it will permeate my entire argument for the whole thing. The flat Earth argument is not an argument, but an exercise. It is almost a game. Because to discuss flat Earth is a stress test to others, and it is a personal test of your level of gaslighting ability. All it is something that is so obviously not true, so obviously proven false, that I feel it's a trolley subject. It's something people believe in. I mean, there's always somebody out there who actually believes it. And I can almost compare it to the anti-vax movement. But the problem is anti-vax actually has a body count. Fucking flat Earth is just stupid shit that I think people are saying to troll others. And like I said, it's an exercise in gaslighting. How long can you go to convince somebody and to keep it going?
I think the fact that you think people who believe the Earth is flat are gaslighting those who don't, globists, if you will, is a defense mechanism because you're scared of the fact that we're questioning what modern science has told us. And it frightens when change comes about to people who on subjects that are supposed to be solidified. It's frightening to them. And I understand the fear, and I sympathize with the fear, but you have to open up your eyes to different possibilities that may be true.
I have opened my eyes to many possibilities, and this I don't want to spoil it. I feel like we need to hear the whatever heavy quotations on facts of what flat Earth means and what it truly entails before we can really get into the nitty gritty. Like I said, this shit. I'm okay. No.
You're already getting pissed, dude. I haven't even said anything yet.
I feel like I'm just like, this is just a triggered like episode. Like, this is the episode where it's just seeing the title, I was just like, oh, here we fucking go. Like, all right.
Okay, but you know what I'm really hoping is, I'm hoping with this episode, Tasker's eyes will open up to a new possibility. Some of our listeners' eyes will open up to a new possibility, and hopefully I've done my part with that. So yes, I was lying when I said in the beginning that Tasker is a flat earther and that I believe it's a globe. It's technically the other way around. Although I do have a very unique stance on the shape of the Earth, but I'm not going to give that. Like, I do believe it's flat, but I have some unique points that I'm not going to get into unless we get into an argument at the end about it.
And see, it's like we don't want to give you guys the same argument we've been arguing for you. Like I said, Nick took the time to, brush up on his facts, brush up on his research to make sure he was fully prepared. And I basically just made sure to get the least amount of sleep possible, so that way I could be at max angry to be able to deal with this properly. So without further ado, let's see where we're at. Let's see how things have updated over time.
All right. So first things first, guys. Let's begin by discussing a brief history of the flat earth theory. I think it's important to have background before we get into the facts.
Right.
So naturally, since the dawn of time, our ancestors believe that the earth is flat, rightly so, due to the fact that when looking outward in any general direction, everything is flat. And it makes sense, especially to prehistoric and ancient humans who had to rely on solely their eyeballs to make observations about the world around them.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
Right. Makes sense. We're on the same page.
So far.
Many prominent societies and cultures believed that the earth was flat up until a certain point in their timelines, including, but not limited to, Greece. And they believed the earth was flat until the classical period. I would say midway between the classical period, around 450 BC. They generally just believed that the earth was flat.
Mm-hmm.
In the 6th century, though, thoughts of a globe-shaped earth began to take shape, if you will. I was very happy with that joke.
I'm sure you were.
I try to write a clean joke and you roll your eyes, but I make fun of Native Americans and you laugh your ass off.
Just a big old fuck.
A hippopotamus.
I almost said hippogriff, the Harry Potter thing.
It's not just Harry Potter. It's an actual legendary creature. Okay.
Oh, is it? Is it now?
Fucking Harry Potter. If I hear one more goddamn thing about Harry Potter, I'm going to lose my shit. All right.
Harry Potter is a globalist.
Yeah, he is. Probably fucking is, man.
Okay. So it's taking shape.
So yes. So in the 6th century in Greek philosophy, they started to think about the earth being a globe thanks to a heathen named Pythagoras. And I call him a heathen for multiple reasons. One reason is because he started to take an end to the original and true idea that the earth was flat. And second, because he gave us the Pythagorean theorem. And I had to learn that shit over and over because I kept failing it in school and it was ridiculously stupid that I've never used it once.
Geometry.
All right. So he's a jackass. All right. Pythagoras is an asshole.
All right. Good start.
India also believed that the earth was flat up until the Gupta period, which was around during the 3rd and 4th centuries.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. There's the Gupta period. It was early days. It's kind of hard to tell when exactly it was, but it was between the 3rd and the 4th centuries.
I can't even get mad at the accent. That was pretty good.
Thank you. I've been to a lot of 7-Elevens.
Jesus Christ. All right. Okay, Apu. Which, by the way, he did get taken off of the Simpsons because the SJ Dubs won.
Fucking so dumb. They're so dumb. Okay.
Yeah, I was kind of sad about that. I was like, oh, come on, guys. Like,
jeez, man. Come on.
Yeah. Whatever. By the way, side note, was it Pythagoras who came up with the it was like a wine glass where it uses like a certain system where if you overfill it, or if you poured yourself too much, it would like activate a mechanism that makes it pour all over you.
I think he did. So he believed in moderation as well, which is another reason not to trust him.
Any guy who's willing to ruin when you can't fill up your cup at his party, is that really the kind of guy you want to trust?
No, you want to go to parties with Coke and hookers.
Lean, isn't that? Do kids still do that?
I don't even know, man. Isn't that like Robitussin and something?
Like
and
I'm thinking grape drink. I think where it's like
it's racist, dog.
No, it's what it's called. It's like Sprite and like really fucking heavy like cold medicine. Like
yeah, that's lean.
Lean, yeah. Isn't that also called grape drink?
I don't know what the kids call this shit, man. I just call it degeneracy, and I call it SoundCloud rap juice.
You're not wrong. And if you can't tell from the conversation, neither of us have gone to really go to those kind of parties, anyways.
No, we're not cool enough, man. We go to white people parties where it's like Panic at the Disco and whiskey.
Yeah,
okay?
and everyone starts like singing and shit, and
Yeah,
like
it's
Man
cringe.
comes on.
Yeah, it's pretty cringe. All right.
Okay, so we heard India. What else?
China, right?
China.
We're going to our buddies China, okay? And not surprisingly, they believe that the Earth was flat up until the 17th century, which is a little bit later than the other ones.
Yikes.
Okay, but rightfully so. And now, believe it or not, an interesting fact that I personally did not know before doing this research is that even the early Christian church believed the Earth was round for the most part. For some reason, in my mind, I thought that the Catholic Church and its early roots would have been like, "Hey, man, Earth's probably flat." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's surprising actually.
But no, they were proponents for a globe-shaped Earth theory even in the early days.
Down with the balls, huh?
Down with the balls, man. The little kid balls. Catholics love it.
It's like I really want to argue that, but like cases show that it's a lot of that ended up being pretty fucking true.
Yep, and I'm pretty sure Jesus did not tell him to do that.
Nope, he did not.
Now, this is most likely due to the fact that the world around Christianity at the time, as it rose to prominence, was beginning to believe that the Earth was spherical, and they adopted this viewpoint. And if it's all around you, and you want to pander to the masses, you're probably going to take the most popular viewpoint at the time.
This is true. Yeah, because everyone seems to forget that Christianity came later than most things. I think was it Islam that came last, or was it Christianity?
Christianity. I'm pretty sure Islam. Oh, I don't want to mess this up. Maybe I should look it up.
I'm kind of scared now. Let's see.
Christianity.
I'll look up when did Islam begin. Islam began in the 7th century.
Okay, maybe it was Christianity first. Then let me see. Okay. 1st century for Christianity. So Christianity was first.
Okay. So it was Judaism, and then Christianity, and then Islam.
Yes, those are our 3 major Abrahamic religions in order.
Wow.
And although we all know that Mormonism is the true and right path,
obviously the correct way. South Park taught us that.
I always believe that a religion started in the 1800s is correct and viable.
By a fucking scam artist and what's that called when you gravedigger, a gravedigger scam artist. Yeah.
It sounds like a stand-up guy.
Yep. Cool dude.
Now, there are prominent people throughout history who have contributed to the flat earth theory, right? We can call them mavericks, renegades, rebels, badasses. And here are a few that are most notable. Okay. These are our messiahs. These are the people who know the truth and have brought it down from generation to generation to give us what we have today. Okay. So we are going to go through them, at least the important ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, you got that sinister look in your eye. It's making me nervous.
Hey, buddy, look, I just can't wait to see you blow up.
Oh, it won't take much. I'm already holding it back.
Okay, well, first up, and the most prominent of them all is an English writer and inventor named Samuel Rowbotham. Now, Sammy Boy wrote the classic work Zetetic Astronomy, Earth Not a Globe in 1849.
That sounds like something you'd find on Google today.
And I did not write that down incorrectly. It is actually Earth, not a globe. There's no is in there. So, personally, when I read it, it should say Earth is not a globe. Right. Earth, not a globe, bro. All right.
Yep. As is verbatim. I think it says a lot of the level of research and intelligence we're dealing with for this particular subject. So
I think that this was just a thing in time. And I think that in the 1800s, maybe they didn't think that is was necessarily needed in this sentence.
Yeah, nice. Likely excuse, but we'll see.
So he wrote this book in 1849. or I shouldn't say book. All right. This was a work originally made up of just 16 pages and it was used as a pamphlet at its inception. But it was later expanded into a full book in 1865 after he had done more research and he had gathered more resources to do research.
I just kind of rolled with it, huh?
Oh, yeah. And then in 1881, 3 years before he died, it was expanded even further to a 430-page book. And there's so much rich information in that book.
Sounds like fan fiction. Sounds like something that you just got to get tacking on to.
Or as his resources and his success built up and he had more money, you could do more research, hence make more points in a book.
Right. Sounds like a cash grab to me, but okay.
Anyway, as a cool side note to point out here, Samuel did write this book under a pseudonym, and his pseudonym was Parallax. It's fucking badass.
That's pretty cool. All right. Okay, I'll give him that. Parallax is a really cool pseudonym.
Yeah, dude. And Samuel was a vicious debater, and I would almost say a master debater, right?
Arguably would consider that to be the case.
And he allegedly destroyed all of his debate opponents when it came to flat earth theory, a true maverick. He was able to turn their words against them and their theories against them with his own true knowledge of the earth at the time.
Oh, funny. You know what also fits that definition?
What?
Gaslighting. Wow, what a shock. What an interesting connection to be made at this current moment of the show.
I don't think that gaslighting truly equates to a true rhetoric master.
Dude, literally half of debating is even if they're is convincing, even if your opponent is telling the truth to convince them that it's not. Like what there's a method where so say for example, there's two people talking and one guy says apples are red and they are green. So the second guy, even though that is true and he's on the opposing side, he says, well, what about yellow apples? And then the first guy's like, well, yes, apples can be yellow too. He's like, but you just said that they were red and green. You did not say anything. So now you're changing the rules and you destroy their credibility. So they are saying the truth. You're just rhetoric and all that shit. That's just learning. That's some lawyer shit.
I think personally that it's just a sign of true knowledge. If you're able to point out things that can stomp your debater, it's a debate that you've won, and that's just the way it goes, man. That you have more knowledge on the subject, especially when it comes to something as hotly debated as the flat Earth, right? So if there's people out there like Samuel who are destroying and just steamrolling all these quote unquote scientists, they can't defend their own science, then why should we believe it?
I don't buy it. I don't think not all facts are good facts and not all information is good information. I think he was just really good at keep in mind, people who are actual scientists don't spend their times learning to debate fucking charismatic, like lawyer people types. They're busy fucking just trying to find the facts and trying to do it. So he probably is just like roasting them and like getting them pissed off and riling them up and stuff like that. Like I think the guy is I would say he's a talented orator. I think he's good he has the gift of gab, but that does not equal intelligence. That equals skill.
Yes, but like I said, I feel like the scientists, no matter if they have the gift of gab or not, these scientists, they should be able to defend their theories because they're the ones that have done the research, right? Like you said, they're the ones that are doing the research allegedly and finding the facts allegedly. They should be able to just be like, no, that's not how it is. This is how it is. But they couldn't do it.
Well, that's the first big fallacy there is because a scientist needs to prove things, and proving comes with experimentation. And guess what? You can't experiment a whole thing in the middle of a 5-minute debate where this other guy who hasn't researched anything can make shit up as he goes. That's a losing battle.
No, but they would go into debates about theories that have been researched before. So they should have been able to have some kind of proof, and that loses a lot of faith right there.
Well, just like the Apple thing, I think they did give the proof out, but he managed to pull some sort of like switcheroos to make them seem not it makes them seem like they're not good resources, and it makes them sound like their information is based. It makes them look uncredible. That's what he did. The information the scientist gave, I'm sure, was correct and proved the point, but he did some lawyer bullshit, tripped them up, and made them sound like, well, see, no, you can't trust that.
Well, worked for me. You can't. I can't trust them. I don't trust them. I don't trust the research that they've done.
You also said a couple weeks ago that NASA was run by the Nazis.
Because they were. That's an actual fucking fact. That is in books.
They didn't run NASA. Okay, I understand the idea of them bringing in Nazi scientists and, that whole Operation Paperclip. And okay, yeah, no, I can buy that. You were talking as if the fucking Fuhrer himself sits at the top brass chair of NASA and that they continue to do so.
What are Nazis really good at? They're really good at invading and occupying places. So if you're telling me that they went into NASA and didn't take over, that's harder to believe than them taking over, honestly.
I can't with this.
Ask Poland how they're doing, all right?
I don't think it's the case. It's been generations since that. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. But we're getting sidetracked here.
All right, fine. Let's move on. So he was a true maverick, and the basis of his particular flat Earth theory was that the Earth was flat, of course, and all of the continents floated upon a giant ocean, and this ocean had a layer of fire underneath it to warm the Earth.
So we're one giant tea kettle. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Floating around baselessly.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
How does that make any sense?
Okay, I'll explain to you how that makes sense. You ever heard of something called global warming?
Yeah, I have.
Have you been feeling it? You live over in Cali still. Have you been feeling that heat even during the winter times?
Oh, dude, it's been a shit show.
Okay, so what does fire need to burn?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. What is our atmosphere filled with, allegedly?
Like 40% oxygen.
Yes. And what makes up water? What molecules make up water?
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Hydrogen and oxygen. So as our years on this planet go on, the fire consumes more oxygen, heating up hotter, creating global warming, and at the same time, evaporating the ocean because it's using the ocean's oxygen molecules, and that's why the sea levels are dropping.
That is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard. That you are basically assuming we're one giant like fucking pot of stew that's constantly bubbling, just snaking around through space like a giant fucking sea slug. It's not even close to probable.
But it's happening, and you can't tell me it's not. You can't prove to me that it's not. Just like I can't prove that there isn't a fire underneath.
Oh, I'm fucking sorry that I don't know that bullshit emissions from the big corporate bullshit overlords that's tearing a hole through our ozone. Suddenly it's just like, nah, we're actually a giant tea kettle. We're actually a floating body of water under a floating body of fire going on that's slowly evaporating over time. It's like, the fuck is that?
This dude developed this theory in the mid 1800s. All right. He was on to something.
No, he was not on to something. This is more backwards than some of the more modern shit I've heard.
Okay. But the point is, this is his unique take on the flat earth theory. Okay. And something else to point out about his theory is his belief that the sun, moon, stars, and other planets are only a few thousand miles away from the flat earth. And he essentially believed in a very tight and compact universe.
I mean, just you could crack open like a fucking like baby's first physics book that will give you the science to prove that false.
I can crack open another baby's book called If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and that teaches me nothing. All right. So you can't just compare. Those are apples to oranges, bro. And also, one last thing to point out that I missed is he believed that the North Pole is the center of this flat earth, right? So at the very center of the flat earth is the North Pole, and that our Antarctica is a frozen ice wall ring around the edge of the flat Earth, basically around the edges, all around.
So this just sounds like a fucking Game of Thrones map. It just looks like he looked at a real map and was like, "Hey, you know what? I'd buy this."
I mean, have you been to Antarctica and gone beyond Antarctica? Because I've never been beyond that before. I could be the edge of the world.
It's there's literal fucking bases of people up there. It's a bucket list thing for certain people to go to the poles, the North and South Pole. Like, dude, like it's been done. There's documentation. You could
But when they fly there, okay, this is Antarctica. They fly there, they have their honeymoon or whatever, they kick it off their bucket list, and then they fly back. They never fly past it because there's nothing to fly past to. That's the edge of the world right there.
What are you talking about? Dude, that's like going to Japan. That's like saying I would have to go off the edge of the earth to make it to that. You realize when you're in America, how do you get to fucking Japan? From Hawaii, because the world doesn't fucking have an edge. It keeps going. Yeah, most people don't do it because that's a stupid fucking thing to do. If I'm in Canada and I fly to Antarctica, I'm going to fly back to fucking Canada. Unless I have a big old trip to fucking China afterwards, in which case I would keep going.
Nope. No, I don't think that really makes sense on like we'll talk about flight patterns in a little bit. All right, so just hold your goddamn horses.
Okay.
Dude, we haven't even gotten into the facts yet. We're still talking about Samuel Rowbottom.
Right. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll listen. I'll sit down. I'll sit cross-legged and be a good little quiet student and see what you say.
All right, because I am going to change your mind by the end of this episode.
I'd like to see you try.
Samuel's theory inspired many, many people, including a man named John Hampton. John was also a very tenacious debater against scientists and was known as somewhat of a troll, which is incredible.
Which I said, flat earthing is a troll topic. The point of it is not believing in it. The point is to gaslight people as much as possible to make them believe some nonsense.
But if you can change some minds if you can defend and change some minds at the same time, why not have a little bit of fun with it? If you know you're right, why not have some fun? If you're a better speaker, be a better speaker. I'm not going to dumb down just because some idiot scientist thinks that his theory is correct.
So it's okay to feed people into this is cult things. You're basically convincing people something that's obviously fake is real. Just because it's fun.
Fake.
It's obviously fake. And that's the joy of it. People, and this thing just proves it more than anything. This has been there was a belief, because there was a legitimate time when people believed that this was the case. Science proved it, and then some crackpot went and made a 400-page book about it. Some people were like, eh. And then this dude is just like, it'd be really funny if I just fucking keep pushing it and make really good arguments. And the worst part is it was working. And as I can, you're a fellow troll. I think that you understand more than anybody.
But I believe that this is the truth. And I think that just because I think it's true and somebody like yourself does not, doesn't mean that I can't have fun with it. I'm still going to push the boundaries because I know what I'm saying is true.
You can keep telling yourself that. You guys keep on telling yourself that.
All right. We're almost done with the background. Let's keep going through it.
Right.
We can't beat each other's throats quite yet.
Right. No, we gotta stay intact. We gotta keep it together.
So Samuel's work also inspired a man named William Carpenter, who helped to spread his theory in America with the help of his own book entitled Theoretical Astronomy Examined and Exposed, Proving the Earth Not a Globe. Again, there's not an is in that sentence, and it is a completely different book. But I need to point out that this man, William Carpenter, created this book and spread this theory in America at the same exact time as Samuel was doing it in England. So this was happening simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Just for timeline's sake.
Sounds like bandwagoning.
Or spreading the truth.
Right.
With all of the attention and support that his movement was getting, Samuel created an official society known as the Universal Zetetic Society, which pushed the theories of his flat Earth and tried to expose the truth to as many people as possible.
Okay.
And with Samuel's passing in 1884, his movement and work was carried on by a woman from South London named Elizabeth Anne Moule de Soddington Blanc, aka Lady Elizabeth Blanc.
Okay.
And after World War I, the movement began to slow down and it was on a steady decline, losing members, losing traction, not as much attention. That is, until it was renewed and revived in 1956 and evolved into what we now know as the Flat Earth Society.
Great. So that's just all I needed to hear today is that this shit's been going on since fucking, what was it? Like 18 something?
18. Yes. When he created the society in 1880. Sorry, it's my thinking noise.
As you can tell, Nick did very well in public school.
Hey, Nick, I need you to answer number 3 for me. 4.
Mixture of disgust. But you know, there was like one girl in that class who was just like, oh, damn. And they're fucking Niagara Falls.
Can you eat pussy like that?
That is a classic video, by the way.
But yeah, so it was in the late 1800s that I would say about 10 years before he died. So I would say 1870s, I believe, that his society was created first, the Universal Zetetic Society. And then in 1956, it turned into the Flat Earth Society. So it has been going on for a very long time, this exact society.
That's very depressing to know.
It's awesome. It shows continuity. It shows strength. It shows faith and belief.
Sure.
See, but scientists, they keep changing their minds about all their shit, all their theory. Oh, we were wrong about that. Oh, well, no, let's figure it out. No, these guys have stuck to their guns for goddamn near 2 centuries.
See, I don't know if that's admirable.
It's admirable. You got to admire it a little bit. They're not flip-floppers, all right? They're not fence sitters. They know what they believe. They know it's real, and they stick to it, and they've been sticking to it.
Well, I guess good for them for having conviction, but like, we'll get into that more. We'll get into that. I can't. I always keep on like springboarding onto something bigger, but I can't yet. I can't yet.
Not yet. And just to point out, the Flat Earth Society is the largest and most well-known group of like-minded, enlightened individuals when it comes to discussing, defending, and researching the Flat Earth theory.
Yeah, how the fuck do you research it? You just keep on opening your window and be like, oh, yep, still looks flat to me. And they all like suck each other's dicks and slap asses and like drink champagne.
We'll get into it. We'll get into some of the little observations that they've made. And yes, yours truly is a proud card-carrying member of the Flat Earth Society.
So what, did you just log on the website and they printed it out for you?
I use the word card-carrying metaphorically. They don't actually have cards like MUFON does, but I am a member.
That explains a lot.
I'm in the forums a lot. Come hang out with me. My name on there is Captain Kirk 69. It's a groovy time on there. You guys will learn a lot, all right?
I'm sure it's enlightening of what you do in your spare time.
All right. Everybody, now that we have a little bit of background on the flat earth theory throughout time, it's time to get into the good shit. All right. It's time to talk about the proof and arguments saying that the earth is flat.
Oh, and I am just so fucking thrilled. Just so on the edge of my seat about all of this. This is just, I'm feeling great and dandy. It's not like I'm talking like I have a headache, like my fucking coffee didn't wake me up enough for this or anything. Like, no, I'm just stoked to be here.
I know. I can see in your eyes. I can see your pupils dilating and your pulse is fluttering in your neck. I can see you're excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one could say.
Now, before I get into this, guys, I need to point out something suspicious. All right. It was extremely difficult to find information on the flat earth proofs and arguments when I used big tech companies, specifically Google, to look for research. Okay. when using Google or YouTube and typing in something as specific as proof the earth is flat, all of the results that came up were articles from quote unquote real science websites and news sites basically saying how crazy flat earthers were. But, and I don't think this is a fucking coincidence, when using something less restricted, such as DuckDuckGo or Tor, the typing, and I typed in the same exact thing, proof the earth is flat, actual results pop up on the results page with information that I'm looking for. And it's very suspicious, and they are trying to silence the truth bringers. They are literally silencing and taking away free speech and dictating what we should be seeing and when we should be seeing it just to drive their agenda.
Okay, let me first point out by saying they do that for sure.
Yes.
I agree with that. I do think information is kind of like bottlenecked, and like they do sort of when it comes to true like flow of information, it's definitely like not catered, but I guess that's the right word. They cater and they like catalog it. Like, yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And there are situations where that can be a little like wonky and stuff. But okay,
let's hear you defend Google. Let's hear you defend one of the most demonic companies in history. Let's hear you defend them.
Oh, I don't disagree that they are demonic and that they have done a lot of like just the other day I found out that you can look and see what kind of you're like what they've like assumed about you, and they have a big old list of like the shit that you're interested in, and you can look at it too. And it's kind of creepy. Like,
yes,
yeah, they totally get your demographic. Yes. And I'm not saying that I think these companies are good, and I'm not saying that they're doing the right thing. What I am saying, though, is I think, like I said, I think the best way to talk about what I think about flat Earth is to compare it to the anti-vax movement. There was a long time ago where somebody online, they made a post that they wanted to write their thesis on why vaccines cause autism, and they had a frustrating time enough to post about it online of, hey, can anybody put me in the way of scholarly articles that can help me to prove my point in that vaccines cause autism? Now, if there's no scholarly articles to be found, there is no science, there is no research that has gotten to a point where you can even get it published. What the fuck does that say?
You just said it yourself, my friend. They are literally bottlenecking the information so you can't find the articles because it pushes a certain agenda.
Oh, because what fucking articles? Okay, when you went on your deep web, dark web, fucking tomato, onion bullshit search engine, the fuck did you find? What was it? It was a bunch of fucking neck-bearded basement dwellers on a shitty Angel Fire HTML website ranting. I don't see the scholarly merit to it at all. There is, yes, okay, so yeah, it's not throttled. Yes, there's a shit ton of information, but there is not a scholarly bit. There's not a scholarly morsel. It is, yes, it is freedom of speech. Yes, you could say whatever the fuck you want, but also, so is fucking 4chan. And if you, I don't know about you, but we could both agree that 80% of it is shit posting and fluff.
Fair. 4chan is full of that stuff. But I will say that the problem we have with the inability to conduct scientific, quote unquote, experiments for flat Earth is the fact that literally all of our conventional scientists, our conventional astrophysicists, our conventional geologists, they are a part of a government that is trying to suppress the truth, and we can't get a word in, aka experimentation, to prove it.
You know, no, I will agree. I think it's bullshit that there is a big old padlock on scholarly articles that we have to pay for to see. Because if you really think about it, this is all the information. Because I highly doubt you bought a subscription to a major like scholarly website that has all that bullshit, because it's dry, it's boring, and it's expensive as fuck. And I do think that is kind of horseshit that like we do have like there's a paywall to information. So I also think that's something that we need to be fair about, is saying that there is a lot more information out there that we need to pay to get, and that's garbage. I have heard there is a workaround where if you can somehow get in contact of the authors of these specific articles, they'll give it right to you. Like, because they're like, no, we don't get any fucking money from these websites. Like, fuck yeah. So the information is there. It's just a couple more steps. But I think it's not fair to discount the actual information out there. That, I mean, that's the thing, is it's so ridiculous that most people, they're not going to waste their time writing an article proving it false. Like, because you don't need to. The proof is already there, and it's just a matter of going in and looking for it.
That's not true. I ran into many articles saying why it's dumb and why people who believe the earth is flat is dumb, and trying to dismantle points. And I think it's suspicious that you can find a bunch of articles on why it's not true, but you can't find any articles on why it's true. And I think that it's being suppressed.
We can't debate science on opinion pieces.
What's an opinion piece?
It's
I know what it is, but like, what here is an opinion piece?
This whole fucking being the earth being flat. Literally, the only thing that we're going off of is people arguing online. Just because it's fucking Huffington Post doesn't make it legitimate. I'm talking about hard science. I'm talking
hard
about
science.
I'm talking about.
So you're talking about government shills, right? You're talking about that.
Dude, journals, scientists, fucking folks that are dedicating their goddamn life and research to continue. There's so much more important shit than to proving to morons that the earth is round. The information's already there. That's why there's no modern major articles, because it's a fucking waste of time. It is a waste of their money. They will lose funding because it's same thing with the fucking vaccine thing. It's already been proven. It's already there. The information.
It's been proven. Interesting. If something's been proven, then why are there so many rebels against it? So you're telling me that I have to believe exactly every single word that some dumb scientist, for all I know, he could be a neckbeard writing some article and just saying that they did it. I never saw the experiment take place. I never saw the papers myself. I never saw them write anything down. So for all I know, they're writing an article about, let's just say this sounds scientific. Let's just make this up. And we'll tell them that the earth is spherical so we can get them to shut the fuck up. There's no proof. No! You literally can't prove that they're right, but I also can't prove that I'm right.
So why is it then that every major society, culture, religion eventually adopted a round earth hypothesis? Why is it that suddenly the entire world, they all just got together and said, hey, let's fuck these guys in the face? Like, no, because it made sense and it worked. And guess what? On top of that, fucking modern physics, which is based on the idea of the earth being circular, not perfectly spherical, by the way, but circular in nature. That's like none of that shit would work. Dude, we wouldn't have our fucking, cell phones and airplanes and all that shit would not work the same, because they're basing it off of a theory that is accurate.
Where can I see these things? Where can I see them with my own eyeballs, that they've used all this stuff on the basis that the earth is a globe? And to counter your point about why all of these things started adopting the globe theory, is it's the same thing as why did Christianity catch on in every single country in the world? Because it was fashionable at the time and it picked up. It's exactly what happened with the globe theory. It was fashionable at the time and it picked up, and then it just became a norm. Now Christianity is a norm. Doesn't say it's right or wrong, but that's how it got picked up. Same exact thing. It was fashionable.
You sound like the fucking kid in philosophy class who shows up with his long trench coat and sits down and says, God's not real. Try to prove me wrong. And it's, oh my. Ugh.
All right, let's move on, because we haven't even gotten into the proof yet. I just wanted to bring up the fact that Google is a government-run agency, probably run by Nazis, trying to suppress information that is vital to our survival.
Fantastic start.
Okay, let's get into the arguments. Now, first up, we have the fact that the North and South hemispheres are not perfectly symmetrical. If the Earth was a globe, there should be two symmetrical halves, the North and South. And the issue here is simply that the latitude in the North hemisphere, quote unquote, is far greater than those of the South. and it does not sound like a globe to me. Now, I personally believe that the fact that the northern hemisphere is larger than the southern hemisphere, at least in the numbers, is either a mistake made by shills when putting out the lie that the Earth is a globe, or they did this on purpose to raise suspicion because they love the attention, much like Area 51.
So this is just easy. The Earth, like I said, the Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's malformed and bizarre looking.
So it could be flat.
No.
But you said it's malformed and bizarre looking. It could be flat at that point, right? If it's not a sphere, then what is it, Tasker? A cube?
To imply it is flat is to imply it has an edge. There is no edge to it because it connects. If we're really going to simplify it to that state, it connects. It's not a perfect sphere, but if you keep going one direction, you will, and you're going perfectly straight, you will eventually land in where you started.
So you're telling me that you have flown past Antarctica before?
Do I look like the kind of fucker that has money to do that?
Exactly.
You could do, oh my God. If it wasn't for the fucking extreme conditions, I would almost say, like, dude, go on fucking Amazon and buy a drone and just do it. And just do the fucking flight across the globe. And if it was possible that we could afford a drone that could do that, it's been done. It's been so done.
Where? I want to see pictures. I want to see pictures of what it looks like when you get past Antarctica. Because I'm telling you, it drops off into space.
What the fuck about like what is it say? It's like Magellan, like all the people who did the first people to travel all the way across the world, because that was the big thing. Was we think the Earth is a globe, we think it's a sphere, and so a couple of explorers were like, okay, and they made it back, or at least their crew did. What the fuck do you have to say to that?
Magellan, the dude in the boat.
Yeah,
he probably just sailed to some island and came back. Were they tracking him the whole time with GPS and whatever century this was?
Maybe not back then, but
exactly. Nobody knows for sure that they went completely around the world in the water. That's impossible to do anyway.
So what? Like when we go off, is it just like a respawn point and it just puts us back in the other side? Like what the fuck?
You drop off into space. I have a big problem with gravity that we're gonna get into in a little bit. Okay,
please do.
I'm just saying, man. The hemisphere math does not add up, in my humble opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, and it kind of leads to the fact that it's not a globe. I'm just saying.
It's basics. Literally, this is like, when you go into a chess club and you go in and you get scholar checkmated, which is the how to win in like 5 moves, basically, because you don't know shit about anything of chess. This is like the equivalent of that, going into a physics class and being like, Earth is flat. That's just easy mode for fucking everybody else. So they're just like, dude. Like,
but then I have to take their word on physics. Physics is a dumb, made up thing to explain magical happenings around us. Like it's so physics is so stupid, and it's so it like some dude who thought he was smarter than the rest of us was like, I'm going to put a bunch of numbers and equations to explain things that I can't explain, and hopefully people believe it, and hopefully it makes sense. I have to believe that gravity's gravity, because that's what I'm told with physics, right? I have to believe there's a certain equation behind it. But how do I know it's not just a magical factor? How am I supposed to wrap my head around physics if it's fake? Ask your brother. Okay. Your brother likes physics, right? He's a fucking nerd. So ask him about it and tell him to prove to me that physics is a real thing.
I'm actually speechless. Do you listen to yourself sometimes?
They're made up words. Velocity. What the fuck is velocity? Okay, if I go somewhere and turn at a certain rate, it's velocity. That doesn't make any sense. I'm just moving, man. I'm just like doing my thing, and you're gonna all of a sudden get a whole math equation in it to make yourself look smarter.
You are just too content with the tech that you have right now. We would not have cars. We wouldn't have been able to invent the airplane if we didn't understand how physics worked and how gravity worked and how it keeps us there and how we can utilize the information to get ourselves off the ground. If physics was fake, we wouldn't have any of this shit because it would just be a clusterfuck of bullshit that we wouldn't be able to understand. We couldn't create things that go against it if we didn't understand it.
I don't need to know about thrust. I don't need to know about lift. It's magic. All right. Look, I don't need to know how a car works because you can't just make up equations and words for combustion and energy. No, you put two things together, car go forward. That's how it works. And that's all you need to know. Physics is a made up study. It's a made up words all throughout it, made up equations to make people who have superiority complexes look smarter than everybody else. And it's disappointing that is where we're at right now, is we're relying on something called physics to prove that the earth is not flat. That's just me, man.
I feel like the fucking girlfriend who got mad at you for like going to a party and you somehow made it feel like it was my fault.
All right, look, all I'm saying is when we try to explain things that don't need to be explained, I don't need to know what a hemisphere is. Nobody gives a fuck. All right, it's all fake anyway. And they're just putting these numbers out to make us happy, to make scientists happy. And they're like, oh, I know what a hemisphere is. I could work off of that. There's no such thing as a hemisphere. So it's just, look, the numbers that they put out don't add up, which is either retarded or they fucked up somewhere along the line. And that's that for this point. For me, that's my final point. They fucked it up. They fucked up the lie.
All right. I am dying to hear what you have to say next.
Okay, next up, I do have a bone to pick with stars and constellations that are out in the sky. All right. These constellations, Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, the Belt of Orion, all these ones that we can see at night in the sky, assuming they're real, which is a whole other fucking topic, have remained in their respective positions for thousands and thousands of years, pretty much since the dawn of man, because we see them in paintings and stuff like that, cave paintings and shit, right?
Yeah.
This is impossible. If we are to believe that the Earth is a globe and that it moves the way modern science says it should.
And how is that?
If the Earth is not moving the way that's said that should be, that leads us to believe that the Earth is not flat because of the fact that the connection between the Earth's shape as a globe, its movement with the day and night cycles just don't add up.
What?
You know what I mean?
That proves the exact opposite. Have you ever fucking went outside when it was night? That shit changes every like little bit. You see how the moon goes around. You see where the sun doesn't stay in. If we were flat Earth, and unless we were spinning like a fucking windmill, that shit would. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, all right. What I'm basically saying here is, if you go out at night, you look up and you see the Big Dipper. You go out at night again the next night. It's in the same fucking place it was the night before, and it's been like that for hundreds of thousands of years. It's literally just in the same spot.
Okay. Earth tilts. It's not in the exact same spot every time.
Then why does it look like it is? It doesn't make any sense. If the Earth tilts, if the Earth actually tilts, it would be in a completely different spot night after night. It's not. It's always why they're always like, oh, I know exactly where this constellation is. It's right there. They know exactly where it is because it's been there for thousands of years, man.
Jesus Christ. Oh, it moved a couple microcentimeters, but I didn't see it. Therefore, it has to be a fucking big piece of construction paper in the sky that some fucking deity poked holes in, and that became the star. That's garbage. That is nonsense.
It's actually a hologram created by NASA.
My fucking bad. But, Jesus, oh my God. Like, it's all there. And there is observable, like, of course it's all there. Like, everything's in an orbit. Everything's in a system. Everything's like, and you know what? And shit is going to move eventually. But you know how, like, the reason why shit looks like it doesn't move a whole lot is because they are light years away. They are fucking.
Not according to this theory. According to this theory, they are only thousands of miles away.
Because it's a fake theory. That's something somebody made up to prove their point. And this is where bringing back the point of the difference between being a good orator or being somebody who actually like talks about the information and how there's an easy way, because people tend to side with the charisma versus the information because it's more cool and fun. And a lot more people would rather have a good time than deal with the truth.
Exactly, Tasker. And I think that's the issue you're having right now accepting this theory is you're having a real hard time accepting the truth. And I understand. Like I said, I sympathize with you.
When you come here and you act stupid over this fucking thing, and you're telling me points that prove that you're wrong, and just boldly come to me and say, hey, here's the proof that I'm wrong, but you know what, that actually proves that I'm right. You're just no better than a fucking lawyer.
Where in that section did I prove myself wrong?
You are saying that the fact that the stars are in the same place every single night.
Yes.
Which is false, because it does move, but it's holy fuck. Okay. Everything in the fucking space, and and I know you fucking love space. You got such a fucking hard on for all these like aliens and shit flying around and stuff like that. First of all, aliens would know more than us, and they probably they can fucking observe us from space. We've seen footage from the moon. We've seen footage from space systems.
Okay, we've seen footage from the moon. Okay, I'm pretty sure we did a whole fucking episode about how we did not see footage from the moon.
Oh yeah, and what about fucking everything else we have up there? The fucking shuttle systems, the fucking the drone, the rovers we've been sending off to Mars and stuff.
That's just
like
the Sahara Desert.
It is not the Sahara Desert. It is fucking space, and you just can't admit to it because it ruins your fun.
No, because I like I said, man, I'm open to this and my eyes are open and I want everybody to be on the same page as me, man. But you refuse. You're thinking in archaic forms.
I'm the one thinking in archaic forms. You literally said in the beginning that early man thought the earth was flat until they stopped because they proved it wrong.
I meant archaic as in like it's outdated. All right. Look, the whole globe theory had its time in the sun. Everybody's like, oh, look, we live on a globe. Yeah. Now it's time to get back to reality, fuckers. The earth is flat. All right.
I'm going to use that soundbite as whenever I get a text from you. That's what's going to play.
Well, I'm glad it'll be remembered for something great. Okay.
You could call it whatever you want. What's your next point? We got to keep moving.
All right. Our next point here is the fact that southern flights do not exist. And when I'm talking about southern flights, I'm talking about flights from one place to another in the southern hemisphere, allegedly. So, for instance, if someone was flying to or from Australia and Brazil, let's say, on a flat Earth map, these two locations would be about 20,000 plus miles apart, which is a ridiculous amount of, mileage.
Right.
And there's no way that a plane can get us there in that like destination span in a reasonable amount of time. Now, this is just a little bit of background. Let me get into the main point here. This means that any airline that offers such flights are a part of a bigger conspiracy by Globus to cover up the fact that the Earth is flat and these flights simply do not exist. Tasker, do you think this is a ridiculous notion?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me rebut that. That does not explain the fact that on many flight tracking websites, GPS data from a lot of southern flights are missing and not recorded.
I literally just Googled flights from Australia to Brazil. It's about $6,000 and a day and a half of flying.
Right.
It's there.
But do you think anybody, like I said, anybody who offers it is a part of a bigger conspiracy? Do you think anybody's going to pay $6,000 to fly from one shitty place to another shitty place on Earth?
Well, maybe it's because it's fucking all the way across the planet.
All the way across the flat Earth. 20,000 miles.
How do you explain fucking flying to fucking Hawaii and shit in Japan?
You just fly there. But they're not in the southern hemisphere.
Okay, where
on the equator line, if there is an equator line.
Where is the line that you are drawing? What is the edge of the Earth that you are saying?
It is past Antarctica.
Okay, I need a visual for this because now I'm starting to get confused because I was under the impression it was a vertical line beginning after to the left of the United States and to the right of Russia. To me, that's what I was thinking. So where is this supposed line of the edge of the Earth.
Okay. Here's one way to picture. Look at my hands.
Okay.
This is the flat Earth. It's a circle. It's still a circle. It's not a
like
sphere.
an oval. It's a 2D oval, basically, is what you're saying.
It's a straight up circle, not even an oval, right? It's a circle. Okay. All of Earth's continents and countries are within the middle portion of the circle. The North Pole is in the very middle. And then on the outer ring of the circle, the very outer edge is Antarctica. All along, Antarctica's one giant ice ring. Past that is the edge of the Earth.
Okay. So the argument you're making is that you can't this is so dumb, dude. This is so dumb. That okay. So
I'm looking at a map right now. Hawaii. I'm looking at a flat Earth map. Hawaii is not that far from Japan.
mm-hmm. Right.
That's why we can fly from Hawaii to Japan. But we can't fly from Australia to anywhere in South America, for instance. Or New Zealand to South America.
Why wouldn't we, though? If we're in a big old circle, that's all. So, okay, it's a circle. All like as we see the world map, we're imagining it. What if that's like wrapped around one big like frozen center, basically?
Yes.
So you should, if that logic, still be able to fly from Brazil to Australia, even under that.
Not on the map I'm looking at, man. And this is a legit map too that I'm looking at. This one, Australia is literally on the other side of the world.
Flat Earth map.
Look at this. That's South America.
Okay.
That's Australia.
Yeah, you could still fly to that.
Look at that. That's 20,000 miles. Look at that. Either way you go, it's a long fucking way. Yeah, there's no way that a plane can handle that.
What?
And then, like I said, Tasker, like I said, on a lot of airplane flight tracking websites, there's a lot of GPS data that's not recorded and it's missing.
This is, I think, one of the worst points you've brought to me today. That is, it is just so flawed. It's like, I can't even like clearly understand what you're even trying to.
I know you can't. I know you can't, man, because you're not opening up your mind. You're thinking like a globist map right now. You're thinking of the world on like a globist map.
You're telling me believe my bullshit because trust me, bro.
Not trust me, bro. Open your mind, bro. Stop thinking like I always tell you, stop thinking in 3 dimensions. You got to start thinking in 4 dimensions, and in this case, 2 dimensions.
I think that logic just immediately just disintegrated any I was already barely paying attention, but now I'm just I cannot even argue this.
Okay, that one, if you don't think it's as strong, let's go on to a different point.
Please.
Although you're missing the point of that one.
Mm-hmm.
Another point here is one that is actually most damning when some shill thinks that they're safe thinking the Earth is a globe. Okay?
All right.
And I'm, of course, talking about the rotation of the Earth, if it was a globe, and the inconsistencies that can be found when looking deeper into it. For instance, Tasker, if you fire a projectile, let's say a cannonball, something big that you can track, into the air completely vertically, straight up, it should fall further west because of the rotation of a supposed globe underneath our feet. However, these projectiles fall straight back down. That does not sound like rotation to me.
Okay. When you're in a car and if you're driving 70 miles an hour and you have a ball in your hand and you toss it up, it doesn't go flying back to the back of your car. And do you know why that is?
Why?
Because you and the ball in the car are also moving at 70 miles an hour. Just because it doesn't feel like it, you are traveling at that same fucking velocity. So that's why, like I said, picture it in your mind. You're driving 70 miles an hour and you have a tennis ball in your hand and you throw it up. It doesn't launch to the back of your car because you're at the same speed. When you're standing on the planet Earth, you are shockingly, the Earth is, okay, it's rotating at what, like a jillion miles per hour. Guess what? So are we. So when you jump up and land, comes off as if we aren't moving at all. That's just the fucking relativity shit.
Okay, 2 points to make to that counter, okay? First
Mhm.
off, I drive at 65 miles per hour. I'm very safe on the road. Second, why? Why did you have to bring? I just went on a fucking tirade about physics and how velocity and relativity, all this made up bullshit. No, if the Earth is literally moving under my feet and the air is staying the same, if I shoot a cannonball into the air, it should be. This is how it should be going. And then it comes back down and it's further away from me. That's how it should be. But that's not what happens. And I have another point to prove this.
Okay.
Let's talk about a helicopter or a hot air balloon. They should technically be able to, if the Earth is a globe that is rotating, they should be able to fly up into the air and hover in the same exact spot as the Earth moves, and they wait for their destination to arrive beneath them, because they don't have to move if the Earth is rotating, right? Why would you fly to a place if the Earth is rotating for you? You could just hover in one spot and it comes to you.
Okay. When we're done recording, and we do all the thing, I need you to go back into this episode. I need you to where are we at right now? On relatively around between hour 25 and hour 32.
Something.
I need you to go back and I need you to re-listen to what you just fucking said to me. And I want you to repeat it a couple times and just really listen to what you just said to me.
It makes a lot of sense. If the Earth is rotating and we're waiting in the sky, why can't our destinations come to us if it's rotating so fast, if it's a globe?
Tennis ball in the car. You're moving at the same speed the Earth is rotating because we live on it, because gravity is pressing us down onto it. We are on it. So if I stand still, okay, in the grand scheme of things, in my exact point in space, in all of space, sure, is different. But relative to our position and about what our sensory organs can take in, it gives off the impression as if we are standing on a flat surface that is unmoving, because guess what? We invented things that move on top of the movement we are already experiencing.
If physics and gravity is so powerful, we should not be able to have created stuff that goes against it.
How convenient that the minute something proves you wrong, it's like, it's fake. Like, that's some Trumpism if I ever fucking heard it.
Well, same for you. You're trying to disprove all these points with fake physics and gravity and tennis balls and shit. Come on, man.
It's not fake, because we wouldn't have helicopters if we didn't have physics.
No, I said it once before. I'll say it again. You put gas together with a spark and it move. Helicopter move, go up.
Okay, so we have we have a working gas engine right in front of us. Okay. It's like saying that computers is just like a rock we put electricity in and then now it runs Linux. Like, no, there's a lot of specifics. There's a lot of factors, a lot of very fine-tuned details that work together in conjunction in order to create the effect that, guess what? Over time, they perfected to the point where when you watch a movie and shit and there's some people who goes like, oh, the soundtrack thing that they did right there was really cool. Oh, that shot sequence was and then other people are like, I don't know how the fuck you noticed that. Because guess what? That's the point. It's the fact that it's so well done, you don't notice it. You take it for granted because the actual truth of how it works is extremely complicated and takes a lot of fucking study to figure it out. So how about instead we give respect to the people who fucking invented it for making it so well made and so reliable that we don't have to even fucking question it. But here you are taking that as proof that their work is just based on it's like saying making a painting is going into Photoshop, drawing a line and then clicking a button and then it turns into the fucking next Mona Lisa.
I mean, with modern technology, we can do that now. It's the same thing.
Just ignorant. It's just ignorant.
Okay, Michael Jackson, it's just ignorant, huh? Well, you know what? To talk about your point with computers, technically most computers are made up of minerals, right? And we did just put electricity in them. So you put electricity in rocket, go. It move. It do.
It don't.
Same thing. Okay. I'm just saying it's fucking suspicious that they are creating things that are meant to go against this almighty thing called physics that can fight gravity. It's just weird. It's weird to me. It's super weird.
Fight gravity?
Yeah, I said it. I said it.
God. Yeah, don't you be walking off like you just said the most noble thing on the fucking planet. You're making this up as you go because, I said before, flat earth arguing is a practice in gaslighting, and that is all it is. It is a troll argument. The entire point of it is just to try to convince other people to believe in something that's obviously fake.
Not obviously. You're having a tough time convincing me of your side as well, sir. I think that we are at an impasse here. I believe there's validity to both sides. I'll take the higher road here. All right, I'll be the gentleman. God. So you're here yelling at me about tennis balls and engines and shit, and I'll succeed. I'll secede a little bit. I'll say, you know what, you can make some good points, Tasker, but I still believe that the Earth is flat and that gravity is fake.
The shit that you're just, oh my fucking God. Of course, you can argue until the cows come home when every rebuttal is, well, it's just not true. It's like, well, why is it not true? Because it's not, because it's fucking fake. Like, you're not explaining anything. You're just naysaying.
Well, so are you. You're telling me about like fucking tennis balls and stuff, man. I don't know where you're coming from. I don't understand the reference. If that's like a meme or something, like I don't get it. And to me, you are naysaying, and to you, I am naysaying. That's just the way it is with these types of arguments, man. Okay, look, I have one more point about this point that might convince you.
Okay.
How about the fact that if the globe was spinning, it would greatly impact the flight times of airplanes, right? So if we're going east to west and vice versa, because it would either be going with the rotation, making the flight last longer because it's trying to keep up with the rotation, or it would be going against the rotation, making the flight a lot quicker because the destination would come to them while they travel to it.
Same fucking point, dude. There's what you told me you had another point. This is just a fucking elaboration on what we just talked about. I don't know. I'm not arguing this again. Tennis ball in the car. That's not the closest thing we can approximate is time zones, because you know what? You're changing your position of where the sun is relative to where you are. But that, like, no, you still have to travel the distance.
The distance changes it should change depending on the rotation of a globe like Earth.
Even if it did impact it, it would be so minuscule, it's almost not even worth bothering. It is just because the impact is null and void. If I want to go to Japan, it's going to take me a set amount of time to get there. And if it was the other way around and Japan was that same distance, but on the right side of the United States, that doesn't mean that the time it's going to be fast. It's still going to take me a fucking while to get there. The only thing is it'll be like kind of earlier in the day, but it's still going to be like a 2.5, 3 hour, fucking whatever, 8 hour flight.
So if you're saying it's null and void and it's almost indetectable, you could say that the rotation doesn't exist, right? And you could say that if there's no rotation, the Earth might not be a sphere.
If you want to really get the fucking microscopes out, I'm sure we could crunch some fucking numbers to see the nanometers of how fucking much of a difference it makes. If you want to fucking get all technical on that, sure. But you know what? Neither of us have the technology to do it. We don't work at fucking institutes. We are podcasters.
Don't say it. Don't you dare say NASA. They're the ones putting the fake numbers out.
God, no. That's just, this is a dumb point. It's the same shit we just talked about. That's just, it doesn't work that way.
I think that this is the strongest point that us flat earthers have, because it makes a lot of sense. If I jump up, if the Earth is moving as fast as scientists are saying it's moving, if I jump up, I should land low, like further east or west than I did before. But that's just me, man, and I'm not seeing it. So I'm thinking either A, gravity's fake, or B, rotations are fake, or C, both. Both are fake. And that we live on a flat Earth, and that's why I don't move when I jump in the sky.
That is just you're crying to me about opening my third eye and opening myself up to newer ideas. Your third eye may be open, but the two on your face are closed. They are shut.
I don't, you know what? I like that saucy attitude you have, but I don't need my physical eyes if my third eye's open. I don't need them to see the truth. And everybody out there who knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about.
It is a wonder you have not gotten like pulled into a pyramid scheme at all in your life. Holy shit.
Hey, man, I'm doing this thing called Herbalife. I was hoping maybe you wanted to join me. Maybe we can make some money, you know? You want to be your own boss?
Sounds very fruitful. Jesus.
Okay, let's move on to the next point. That was a very contentious point between us.
Agreed.
So another interesting argument that can be made is based off of Polaris, the North Pole star. Despite the alleged globe shape of the Earth and the rotations and orbits that the Earth takes, according to scientists, Polaris is constantly directly above the North Pole. Directly. This does not add up, however, so it helps to prove the point that the Earth is not only flat, but the North Pole is directly the center of the flat Earth, just like Samuel Rowbotham stated.
What?
You heard me.
Oh my God. So this is an argument about the North Star being in like the same spot, right?
Yes.
And you're saying there's no way it could be in the exact same spot all the time because of its position or because the Earth is flat and it's not moving.
No, I'm saying there's no way it should be in the same spot if the Earth is rotating and wobbling about just like they do. It's wobbling. Look at the Earth is rotating, and it's also like. Also, a point I want to bring up about this whole now that we're getting into the outer space part is yes, I think the sun rotates around the Earth, and I think that that's why we get shadows, right? Even on a flat Earth, is because the sun is rotating around us.
Oh my God. Okay.
But that's beside the point.
North Star Trail time lapse HD.
You can't prove it with some idiot's YouTube video.
Holy fucking shit. I am going to lose my goddamn mind with you today. I am literally going to lose my fucking shit.
Well, I understand. The truth hurts. It's an old saying, and that's why it's a good saying. It's because it's true. The truth hurts, man. And when you start hearing things that make you question what you were taught as reality, it can be upsetting. And I understand.
I think like every other fucking point you had today, all it does is you're just twisting a point that proves you wrong into something that sounds like the truth.
I'm not skilled enough to do that. You said it was all about skill, right? To be the gift of gab, the lawyer type talk, the speech, the rhetoric. It's a skill.
Spoken like someone with the skill of gab.
Hey, do I have a cult? Maybe. Am I charismatic? About as much as Hitler was.
Right. Pretty approximate, yeah.
But I'm just saying, these are truths that we don't have the funding to do because we are the ones getting gaslit. We're the ones being told by people like you that this is fake and that we're crazy. So we're the ones losing our credibility. And we have to fight. We're a resistance against lies.
Your previous point said the reason why the North Pole doesn't move is because if the Earth was flat, it would be the same. So it literally doesn't prove anything. All it just says is if allegedly the Earth was flat, the star would still be in like a fixed position as it in relation to how we move. It doesn't prove shit.
No, that's what, no. I'm saying that since the North Star hasn't moved, the Earth is flat. If the Earth was a globe, it would be moving and not in the same space. That's what I'm trying to say.
So why is it, big fucking surprise here, that every other star moves in a circular pattern? That, I don't know, kind of like how a globe up to a point where it does not.
They don't. That's what I was talking about with the constellations earlier. The constellations are always in the same fucking spot.
You can put a fucking camera out all night and you will have a big old night long time lapse and you will see all those stars moving in that big fucking spherical pattern that shockingly, like a sphere, gets the movement and the pathways get smaller and smaller until you hit the fucking center point.
I don't have a camera good enough for that. I can't do it myself. I need to rely on scientists' words and their research to do it for me, but I can't trust them. That would require a leap of faith, and I don't have faith in scientists.
Boo fucking who. Holy shit. It's like there's all this, it's just so easily provable, but you can't do it because it's just like, nope. Nope. Nah.
I'm a busy man. I'm a busy man trying to preach the truth. All right.
Okay. Is there what else could you possibly bring to my table to try to fucking even because you're doing a bang up job of convincing me today.
I know. I'm very happy about that. Thank you.
Ugh.
So, okay, here's the next point. What about the fact that consistently level surfaces and structures should not be able to exist on a globe that is tossing and turning throughout space? Now, let me explain. I see the look of bewilderment on your eyes. Now, this can be seen in man-made objects like railways, for instance, right? That traverse across countries, right? And can also be seen in naturally occurring things such as rivers, which also traverse across countries. If the Earth was a globe, let alone a globe that is spinning constantly, having these things on a straight path would be impossible. And first off, Tasker, don't give me that gravity crap. All right? Like I said, I can't prove gravity exists, but I've never seen it with my own eyeballs and I never felt it before. All right?
Tennis ball in a car.
You can't just keep, I'm not a dog. You can't just say ball and I'm like, you know, like I can't just like, that's not how I work, man. I need irrefutable evidence that we have so we have a train. Let's say we have a long railroad track that goes across many, many states in a country, one single track, which it does.
Right.
If the Earth was a globe, first off, we wouldn't be able to have a straight track, okay? Because it has to be flat for the train to go on it. And also, if the Earth was rotating, the train would be flying off the rails at every turn.
You're implying as if the Earth was like the size of like Texas, as the whole planet was fucking relativity changes on site. You don't really are not putting in consideration how fucking big the planet Earth is. And that makes a difference. And just because it seemed, like I said, okay, yeah, if you had a, like a little, like a, a globe like you would have in a classroom, right? A globe like, model of the planet Earth. You could make railroads even go across that. You need but obviously the curvature would have to be a certain specific way, but it would be mostly straight already, even at the scale model. Scale that shit up billions of times. Like I said, when I walk 12 feet over there, the change in Earth's curvature is so minuscule, it's kind of doesn't matter.
It's almost non-existent.
You literally said all these things that do exist shouldn't exist, but they exist. So what
the curvature is non-existent. I was saying these things exist because the Earth is flat.
That's complete horseshit. Because, okay, we have all these other things that work because we have a circular Earth and because physics and all this stuff. And then you're flustering me.
I know. And look, when you're put into a corner with facts, I know it's frustrating. I know that it can be tough. Like I said, I sympathize with you throughout this whole episode. I'm just trying to bring the attention to you. Okay?
I am saying that all this shit can exist in a circular planet. In fact, it does exist in a circular planet because precisely the point, the actual planet is so scaled up that you can create a perfectly level surface and put it on the ground. And if you keep on stacking, and you just make it all the way across the planet Earth, it's going to, and also good luck finding a perfectly level, naturally occurring surface anyways.
Well, I'm not talking about general geography, right? I know that there's mountains, even if they are holograms. And I know that there's like rivers and creeks, but I'm talking about the fact that the general flatness of the Earth is evident in the fact that there's no curvature that I've ever seen, right? If I stand out in, we're going to get into this point in the next point. Okay. So let's not get too deep into it.
Mm-hmm.
Or in 2 points. I'm sorry. Okay. Look, and now okay, let's move on to the next one. I know you're getting flustered. I know this is frustrating for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is kind of a big one. This is one that really frustrates me because it proves the lies of NASA and other scientists.
Does it now?
Let's talk about the pictures of the Earth that have been taken, allegedly showing us a globe-like planet. So let's be honest, people. If we look up images of Earth, it looks like a disc. Okay. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It does not look like a globe. Now, sure, one can argue that the globe shape can be made out by looking at shadows, but there is a simple explanation for that. And that is that the fact that these people that you put your trust in so highly, run by Nazis, NASA, photoshops shadows strategically into photos of the Earth in order to make it look like a globe and more 3D in nature.
You told me that the idea of the world being spherical was widely accepted around the 7th century. And now you're telling me that Photoshop is your explanation?
For pictures. I'm talking about just for these pictures of the Earth. I don't trust anything that somebody in the 7th century said because they thought that the bubonic plague was a demon. But I'm talking about how NASA strategically places shadows on modern pictures of Earth, if it's even real at all, which is something that we need to talk about too.
See, now I just pity you. You are looking at things from a human 6'2" standpoint. You are not taking into consideration the macro side of this story, that shit is different when it's really fucking big, and that it's not going to work the same way. Like, how else can we stay in our solar system and in place? Because it's bodies with a gravitational pull that are in a certain harmony with each other. And that's why we have this system. But the thing is you may say, well, there's no way something can be that perfect. Guess what? It's not that perfect, because also just as much as the same way that the Earth is not perfectly spherically round as if it was carved from marble, it is full of nuance. And this whole thing and this whole situation is chock full of nuance. And you're coming here to tell me that all this shit is bullshit because somebody bought a Creative Cloud subscription and got the little black paintbrush and covered it up a bit.
Kinda, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And we also have to talk about the fact that, I mean, what if these pictures aren't even real? Like, in my opinion, as time has gone by, the pictures of Earth have gotten better.
Your evidence, proof, and suggestion of your point is, but what if it wasn't?
What if it was CGI? What I'm saying is that the picture for these pictures of Earth, the picture has gotten significantly better over time. And what else has gotten better over time? CGI. I'm looking at pictures of the Earth from space right now. If they're real, and it looks pretty goddamn fake.
Okay, let me see.
It looks like something that I would build in like a Sims game.
You notice how the part that leaves the light is it curves strongly and then curves more weakly and then curves strongly again, indicative of a circular pattern.
Circular, yes, but 3D, I can't tell.
It is absolutely you are just making things up right now.
No?
You are just, I don't even know. You know what? To use your own argument against you, how do I know you're not taking damning photo evidence and photoshopping it yourself?
Do I look like the type of dude who knows how to use Photoshop?
Dude, all it takes is a basic understanding of how light and shadow works to show how this is an obviously 3-dimensional shape. And also, have you ever just like looked at a sunset?
No, I'm not a Nancy. You think I just look at sunsets and watch Stuck in Love all the time?
Unavoidable. You've looked at a sunset before, and you've seen the moon rise, and you've seen the moon go down. Dude, like, it wouldn't do that. If we were on first of all, if we were flat and if we were non-rotating, the day wouldn't change ever because we aren't rotating.
Like I said, the sun revolves around the Earth. That is how we get day and night cycles.
That does not make any sense at all. The entire solar system would fall apart if the sun was rotating around us.
There is no solar system. That's the point I'm trying to make here.
You're thinking 6'2". You need to think bigger. You're not thinking big enough.
Why do you think they kicked Pluto off the planets, huh?
Oh my God. Now we're bringing Pluto into this just because I can't do this. This is I am going to tear this roll of duct tape in half.
Okay. Now, before you hurt yourself, let's get to the final point. Okay, this is the last one. This is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
We need to discuss the horizon.
Right.
So let's say, Tasker, let's say that you're out in the middle of a desert or in the middle of the ocean, a place without any obstructions like buildings, mountains, etc. If you look around 360 degrees, you will see that the horizon is flat and there's no obvious curve to it as far as a naked eye could see.
Okay, you'll be the first to say, and because you've probably said it before, just because it isn't obvious doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
That's a good point. I have said that in the past, but I'm also willing to admit when I'm wrong. But I'm also willing to stick to my guns when I think something is so true that even if it's obviously not there, I don't believe it's there. Like the curvature of the earth. So if I go out in the middle of the ocean and I look out all around me, guess what I see? A horizon. Why do they call it a horizon, Tasker? Because it's horizontal. It's fucking flat. All right.
That everything you just said was just words with no meaning. It was just, that was nonsense. What you just said, it didn't prove a single goddamn thing.
And let's hear you prove it wrong.
Did you just not pay attention to me? Are you just muting every single time I talk? For the love of God. I am so this shit every goddamn time. I was trying my best to be civil. And just the level of, because, and you know why I'm losing my shit, and you know why I'm getting more upset, because as I said in the very beginning, and will say here now as my conclusion, to convince others of flat earth being the proper theory is nothing more than a troll and an exercise in gaslighting to see how good you are at manipulating people into believing something that is very much provable. Because the thing is there are so many resources you could find right on Google that proves it completely false. And the job of the flat earther is to deny, even if they have no solid proof or rebuttals, just to keep saying, well, it's horseshit because I said so.
Interesting that you would point people to Google to find their resources, first off.
God.
And second of all, I will say that, like I said once before, the fact that, no, we aren't gaslighting you. You're gaslighting us. You're trying to make us think that we're crazy, right? You're trying to discredit us with something you can't prove. Throughout this whole episode, you didn't prove to me once that the Earth is a globe. You proved to me that a tennis ball is spherical. That's cool, I guess. But you didn't prove that the Earth is a globe. So I think that I'm being gaslit here. And I think that we're tired of being oppressed and pushed down. And that's why I'm doing this episode, is we need to get the truth out there. Because naysayers like you are going to be like, go to Google. Trust Google to give you information about something that isn't 100% provable anyway, and then laugh at people because they have different ideas than you.
You're talking like I literally use a website where I get direct news updates from Google's feed. Like, no, like
I said, Tasker, when I did the research for this, I couldn't find a single thing about flat Earth being true on Google, but I found it on DuckDuckGo. Google is suppressing the information.
And how credible were the DuckDuckGo articles?
Very credible.
Oh, yeah.
Just about as credible as the ones on Google that were disproving the flat Earth theory.
Like I said, there you could try to write a thesis on it and it would get thrown out the door because there's nothing to prove it. There's no information. It's a big fucking shock and surprise. If there's no scholarly articles, if there's nothing about it, it's probably because it doesn't work that way.
Just because there's scholarly articles on the Earth being a globe doesn't mean that it's true.
And you know what? Here, let me fucking put a fucking big ol' stamp on here at the end right here. You know what? If you want to go ahead and believe that the Earth is flat, go ahead and have fun with it. All you are doing is just going around and just, doing your trolling shit. I feel like a fucking like hedge funder right now of just that like fucking Redditors, they're trolling and shit. Go ahead. You know what? Fine. Because there's obviously no point, because I'm playing into the game. I'm playing into the troll and just setting myself up as an easy target. So you know what? Sure. Go ahead and keep on believing all this horseshit. Because you know what? You have the privilege to be allowed to do that, to not have to believe what is true and how the world works, because if you're not working in that field, it's kind of inconsequential. Just be fucking glad that there's no body count to believing it, just like how the anti-vax is. This gaslit ignorance can be dangerous if it's involving something more at our front door. So you and your fucking weirdo fucking forum, Captain Kirk, dick sucking bull garbage, VR chatters. Go ahead and keep on fucking talking about it.
You know what? There is a body count to this whole thing, Tasker. Do you want to know what it is?
What?
It's the feelings that people like you hurt when you call them like names and ruin what they believe to be the truth, because you're too afraid to break free of a tradition of believing Nazi scientists to get the information that you think is real for what we live on as Earth. And I think that the feelings that you hurt along the way and the people like you hurt along the way is detrimental to society.
See, that's what I call a frat party argument, because nope, he's wrong. Why? Because he's a buzzkill. Boo!
No, you're creating a body count, Tasker, a soul count. Look, you can sit here and say that the Earth is not flat all day. You can't show me proof that I'm going to believe from anybody, because it's fake. Numbers are fake, physics is fake, etc. We all know this. This is a fact. Anybody who sat through a physics class in high school knows that it's fake and it's dumb and it's pointless. I, on the other hand, can sit here and tell you all day that the Earth is flat, and you're not going to believe me. It would require a leap of faith in me for you to believe it, just like it would require the same for me to believe it's a globe.
Yes.
And I think that was very beautifully said, and I will pat myself on the back.
That is fair. And for the listeners out there, he did actually do it. But this is what we would call when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. This is one of those episodes where we just got to agree to disagree. Neither of us will ever convince each other.
One day I'll convince you, Tasker. One day, and it's not going to take proof to convince you. I can't give you proof because we can't physically fly past Antarctica, like I said. But I'll convince you one day. Your third eye is opening slowly but surely as the episodes progress, and I think one day it'll click with you, and you're like, you know what? It is kind of weird that helicopters don't just fly up and then wait for their destinations to come to them.
Didn't the Flat Earth Society raise enough money to pull off a super expensive experiment to prove the Earth was flat, only for the experiment to give results of the Earth being round?
Yes, but I think that they were fudged. The numbers were fudged.
Yeah, Google came in and paid them off, but yeah, no, they were like because when they came to the results, they fucking hit them, and then eventually it leaked out that it's because it proved that the Earth was not flat.
Hey man, Sarah, you know.
Sure, let's go with that. Thank you all for listening to this fucking episode. It has been a blast. It has been nothing but fun and smiles all across the board. We are all happy to have you here, of course.
One other thing too, guys, before we close out is keep a look in the skies during the day, because a lot of the arguments I made are nighttime, right? Stars being in the same place, very suspicious, but also chemtrails during the day. You'll see that there's no curve to them. So the chemicals are a lot easier to drop on us because the Earth is flat. And that's one of the reasons it's being suppressed. Like, we went over a lot of how, but not a lot of why today. That might be for another episode. Just keep an eye on the skies. Look out for chemtrails, and you will see that they are in a straight line, and it's easier to poison us with straight lines because the Earth is flat. Okay.
You're using ant logic. An ant, if you put him on a relative sized globe, the ant will think that the Earth was flat too. It's bullshit. It's stupid.
I don't know what's up with you and your height comparison. You got like a 6'2" logic and an ant logic, and like, hey man, look, I like animals just as much as the next guy. All right, but it's not going to convince me that the Earth is a globe. What if the Earth is a cube? That's a whole other thing we could talk about as well.
Don't even get me fucking started on cube Earth. Maybe in the future we'll have an episode on cube.
Well, remember at the beginning of this episode, I said I have my own unique take on the flat Earth, and So my take personally is that there's 6 alternate Earths, and that each side, so the Earth, there's our universe as we see it is a cube with 6 flat Earths on each side. But that's a story for like a whole other time that we could talk about on the Discord if you guys want to hear about it.
Okay. Thank you guys for listening. Holy fuck. This has been a journey for me. I hope it was entertaining for all of you. I do know that there is so what sort of shape would exist of a flat Earth in the 4th dimension?
That's an interesting theory. Earth doesn't exist in different dimensions. Earth solely exists in the 3rd dimension.
Interesting, because because there is that supposedly there's that shape where it's like the only like the only like marker we have of what a possible like 4-dimensional shape might be.
Yeah, I've seen gifs of it.
So I just, there is like a theory. And I know we talked about this before though, of like, so as you said before, there is no 4th dimensional Earth, but that might be because, I mean, this is a little kind of like honing in a bit too much, but there's the theory that might actually be a blackened out space that Count Chocula might be using as his base of operations.
You know what? That's interesting that you bring that up. Count Chocula obviously has the ability to transcend dimensions.
Right.
It's a given. And the scary part about what Tasker's saying is if this is true, then his base is literally right on top of us, just in a dimension higher. So he's like on top of us. And like I said in the past about interdimensional beings, they have the ability to see and transcend between dimensions. So that means we don't know what he's up to, but he knows exactly what we're up to because he's right on top of us.
Yeah. And that's how he can be there so quick and watch us without us knowing. And it was a pretty terrifying revelation.
So now we know why we're getting these letters. We know why all of our plans and all of our information and our data has been foiled so easily, is because he's right on top of us. So now we have to think of a way to block his ability to do this. I don't know how to do that. I'm not skilled enough.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of developing like an interdimensional VPN of sorts.
Exactly. We're trying. That's a good way to put it. And we need to figure out a way to do it. So if anybody has any ideas, please let us know, because it's getting dire at this point. At this point, it's starting to get a little freaky because we can't hide.
Absolutely. It's nuts. It's wild, but we will do our best to persevere. Now that I've calmed down a little bit, thank you all for listening. If you're listening on iTunes, you can please rate and review us 5-star, boost us up a bit. That would be super swell and helpful. Probably one of the most helpful things you could do if you choose to support. Spotify, you can click that follow button. We get new episodes every single Wednesday. Instagram at CEOTPK, YouTube, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. You can find us on Twitter at CEOTPK1. Facebook, we have Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. You can email us at ceotpk1@gmail.com. Discord is discord.gg/lowercase b, number 6, capital C, capital T, number 5, capital M, capital X. The links and all the above links are all on our Facebook. Don't bother typing them out. Just go to the Facebook. And if you don't have a Facebook, use your friends. Or I don't know. I'm sure there's another way to do it. Or you can type it out. Who knows? It's your life. If you have the desire to donate to us money, we have a coffee, ko.fi.com/CEOTPK. Don't feel pressured to do it. It's just there because it's like having a tip jar. You don't put it there because you really expect it.
Exactly. It's just like, hey, this guy made a lot of good points in this episode. I'm going to throw him $3.
Sure. If that is your motivation, then, just whatever, man.
All right. Well, guys, look, thank you for listening. I hope you learned something interesting today. I hope that I changed some minds out there. I hope that your eyes have been opened, more specifically, your third eye. Don't let the naysayers and the shills tell you what is and what isn't real. And whether you believe the earth is flat, whether you think it's a cube, a pyramid, whether you believe that this isn't even Earth at all, just remember that the truth is out there.
Sometimes you just got to listen to yourself. It's not.
So yeah, I'm in the... Oh, fuck.
Heart attack.
I had like a whole sheet of bacon before this. Okay.
Sick.